He's cornball ass man. Niggas Christian ass. He's whatever the these believe in nowadays. Talking about uplift the so cool. Everything y'all stand for because it ain't genuine. And I don't respect it because I know it ain't genuine. Y'all trying to get a check and y'all ain't real about what y'all trying to say. So you.
Not in the playoffs.
I cannot find the channel that LeBron is playing on. Can somebody please tell me what channel he's playing on?
Hey.
All right, before we get more in depth into that, man, welcome back to an LLCs podcast, man. My name is Dre. We got Zoe over here. We got Antwon in the BYLDING, aka the building. We're gonna start off with look at the tip of the day, man.
How's that AKA the building? You saying building?
Listen, don't worry about what I'm doing, man. Let me do what I do over here, man. Let me do what I do over here. Listen, we in the building, and look at the tip of the day. Be on time. And if you have to get paid for your services, make it make sense. All right. Now, you said LeBron ain't making. You ain't seeing LeBron on TV right now, man.
I can't find LeBron on TV, man. I'm searching. I can't find him. I think they had like highlights from the NBA season. I think he was on like the highlights, but like I can't find out who he's playing in the first round. I'm really trying to find out who he's playing in the first round. I know he's in there.
Yeah.
I know he's in there.
Hey, it's over with it. I'm not a huge LeBron fan, so I'm okay with saying it's over with. I'm okay. I was okay with being over with. Like, he had a great career.
Yeah.
So he's done? He's done. He's done now.
I think he's done. I think he needs to be done. I think he can play as long as he wants to and whatever he's trying to prove, hopefully.
So he's the Eminem of basketball.
No, what? No. No, he's not the Eminem.
He had a great
James
come up.
Harden is the Eminem of basketball.
He had a great come up, but he fell off, and now everybody wants him to go home and retire.
Well, don't matter. I mean, I just want him gone. I don't care if he's.
Oh shit!
I just want him gone. The league was so much better before. Hey.
Starting to sound like the Eminem of basketball to me, man. I don't know, man. People try to say he's the greatest of all time, but he's not. I don't know, man. The only difference between them is that you technically can't say Eminem choked, but his beefs are very questionable. But we'll get to that another day.
LeBron.
But LeBron has clutch moments at the same time. It's just he's more noticeable for his chokes. It is what it is.
No debate here.
Oh man!
Because he had one of the biggest flame outs as an NBA and one of the biggest flame outs in NBA superstar history for sure in the Dallas series.
It's true.
The Spurs, when you're like, all right, team was a little inferior, he won't all the way ready yet. All right, whatever. But Dallas can't explain that one.
That's not an excuse neither though.
Not saying it is, but
No, I get what you're saying, but it's not an excuse either. That team won 60. I think that team won 60 games that year. They were pretty good. So I can never say they were like.
How many games Utah win this year?
Utah?
Yeah.
49.
Only reason I asked that because I might have got that confused with something else. Was there a season where they won 60 or something, or I'm just gassing it, or were they on pace?
Utah? So we talking about Utah?
No.
We talking about Utah.
I think I'm getting that confused with something else.
Last year Utah had 56 wins, I think. Had the best record in the league.
Oh, all right. That's what. Okay. And what happened? What happened to them?
I mean, we don't have we don't have a player when you talk about a top 5 player of all time. We don't have 3 top 75 players of all time on that team.
That's fair.
We don't have, players who have won MVP and championships on that team. We have Defensive Player of the Year, and we have Donovan Mitchell, and then we have everybody else.
Yeah.
It's a little different when you have 3 top 75 players on the team.
Fair point. All right, you got that. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, you got that one.
But also, I forgot how many games the Lakers won this year, but it wasn't enough. But I do know Michael Jordan, his last 2 seasons with the Wizards, he led them to a better record than LeBron had this year with the Lakers in those seasons. So, you know.
Well, it looks like we're not about to see KD and Kyrie on TV anymore either.
I don't know. I think we won't see Ben Simmons playing the Nets uniform ever.
Ooh.
I think like this is what they got him for. He hasn't played basketball since last year. How is he hurt? How did he hurt his back?
Ben Simmons is not going to play because he's in the shell right now. They shitted on him so bad for a year for his performance or lack of performing in the playoffs. So he's in the shell right now. There's no way he's gonna play. He's gonna play on that stage right now. In the mind state he's at, there's no in the world. His coach shitted on. When your coach shitted on you,
Well, that's not a good coach.
If I'm Brooklyn,
it's not a good coach, but at the same time, it don't take it away.
Yeah, I
You
understand.
can't be like, not a good coach.
Yeah,
You couldn't say that.
nah, for sure. I understand because Doc Rivers' record, besides Boston, has been very shaky. Damn near has any other coach has that type of record, he don't have a job right now. Let's just keep it a buck.
Yeah.
Now all the flame outs, the 3-1 leads he blew. Come on now, you can't explain that.
Yeah, Doc is he got some questionable.
if I'm Brooklyn, I'm trading Ben Simmons for Bradley Beal.
For this team?
Yeah.
For the Nets team?
Yeah. I mean, you had James Harden, so it ain't like you don't think it can work.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, true.
So we got to get some.
Bill it too.
Yeah, it's no way. Nah.
The Nets need a better coach too, because Steve Nash is trash as a coach.
He's just friends with the players. He's not coaching. He's just telling them to go play. They're telling him what to do.
It's street ball, playing street ball.
That's why they can't get nothing done. They rely on one-on-one.
And KD need to hit the gym a little bit more, get a little stronger. He don't got to get overly buff. It's just enough to handle what's going on right now.
Durant plays at such a high level, it's hard to critique his offense. So
Everybody
it's like,
has room to grow, though.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely. I'm not saying he doesn't have room to grow, but he's pretty much. What more can you really ask for him? I mean, he could
Strength.
I'm weak.
Plain and simple. Strength. Obviously, all the Nets technically have is KD and Kyrie, but it's not true, but it is true when the value of playoff basketball. They have to play great every night, and you can't win a championship like that. Unless you're Michael Jordan, which no one else is, so it doesn't matter.
No one else is.
So if you have a team constructed like that, and it's not a next man up mentality, they not gonna win nothing. They have the highest ceiling and, as you can see, the lowest floor in the league. As far as what comes to championship aspiration teams, anyway, the highest ceiling and the lowest floor.
We just had too high of expectations for the Nets to begin with. Like, you gotta realize they technically haven't played half a season together. That team that you see, because Kyrie just got cleared last month. They just got Seth, the other players, whoever else they got. So, and then Durant dealing with injuries. So I don't even know. They probably don't even know how good they are or what they can do.
I give them 2 more years.
I think we just went by like names and we gave them expectations, and rightfully so. They superstars, but
That's fair.
They haven't played together. But
Even though all those stars were there, I never thought it was going to be a championship team.
I thought it would be tough to beat to the point where possibly they could be, but
Celtics just had the right pieces.
The Celtics are the second best team in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, the Celtics are really.
And they was playing like trash the whole season until January.
Yeah.
They went from the play into the second seed.
Yeah, I think
That's crazy.
Golden State is the best team in basketball right now.
Over Phoenix?
Yeah, if Devin Booker's gone, they'll be eliminated probably.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, Devin Booker's out for like 2 or 3 weeks. I think it was either him or Chris Middleton is out for 2 or 3 weeks. I forgot. Might be Middleton, but I know he's out for this series.
Hamstring. Yeah.
Yeah.
His hamstring.
I want the Suns to lose though, so it's cool.
Why? What's wrong with the Suns?
I don't know. I want my team to win. So
Oh, you talking about Utah?
Yeah, whatever it takes. Broken ankles.
You really think Utah is gonna go somewhere in the playoffs this year?
I don't, but if people keep getting injured, it improves our chances. So whatever that means.
Yeah.
How long you get Donovan
Whatever
before he
it
leaves,
takes.
man?
How long before Donovan leaves?
Yeah.
I think at a minimum 2 more years.
You don't think he likes being the go-to guy on the?
It's not. That's not the
Season two.
problem. What else do they have? You can't play Rudy Gobert in the series they're playing in right now because he can't score. That's crazy.
You can play it. Well,
You're gonna have to play him strategically, like if you need
He got to guard the 3 now.
rim protection.
He has to guard the 3 now because of the way that the other team's playing.
Shit, I haven't really been watching it. Who are they playing though?
Dallas.
They're playing Dallas.
Exactly.
And Dallas has got the unicorn, right?
Nah, he's been gone.
He's gone. Damn.
They did, but their personnel plays 3 and out. They play on the perimeter mostly, so all their action is going on there, and they got players that were just killing them. And Luka didn't even play them the first 3 games.
It's crazy because the game came back, we beat them.
Exactly.
I think that's how it's gonna be though. I think that was a turning point. I think we're gonna beat them now.
That might be true.
Because all great players are ball stoppers. It's only one great player that I ever watched that they're not a ball stopper, and that's Steph Curry. That's the only player.
Because this game doesn't determine. He's not the floor general.
His game isn't really, predicated on beating his man.
Yeah.
Because he's a spot up shooter too, but we do know he can handle it when he has to. But think about every other superstar. They rely on beating their man. Steph doesn't. So everybody else, they dominate the game, but they're holding the ball. But now, I'm not going to say they're easier to defend. That doesn't make sense to say, but it's almost like they are.
You can key in.
You can key in. But see, like with him coming back, that's what happened last game. But before, they were just hitting whoever was open.
It was more ball movement.
But now it's like Luka has it. This is what he likes to do.
They honestly should have held him out one more game, to be honest.
They could have, should have.
Because they didn't need to bring him back. The loss makes them, all right, now he has to play now. They could have held him out one. They was up 2-1.
I mean, it's still, what happens if you lose? It's 2-2. Well, it's 2-2 and you brought him back. So,
Yeah.
I think this our year, though. Like, this our year. I think we're going to win it all. Let me see. Devin Booker. Waiting on Chris Paul to get hurt. But it's going to happen.
Y'all really think y'all going to beat the Warriors? Healthy.
Klay Thompson legs, his knees will give out. And I think once that started to happen, I think
Man,
we'll be on our way.
man, no, everyone weak spots.
So,
Who you got coming out of the East, though?
the East,
Yeah.
Milwaukee. I got Milwaukee coming out of the East.
I'm 50-50 on it. I don't.
Embiid is hurt.
He's hurt?
Yeah, his thumb. He has a torn ligament in his thumb.
Jeez.
Really, the injury he has, who had it during the season? Another player had it, and they was out for like 7 weeks. But he's going to play through it, so I ain't never tore a ligament in my thumb.
I tore one in my foot. It's not fun.
Yeah, so they'll probably lose in the next round. I think they'll beat Toronto, but they'll probably lose in the next round. I think they play. I guess it would be Miami. I think it'll be Miami, but Yeah, they won't be playing too much longer.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so Philadelphia, Toronto. Were you just talking about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Philly, yeah.
Miami,
Philly.
their whole team is injury prone. So in another week, 2 or 3 of those guys, they'll probably be hurt. Jimmy Butler, Bam, you know. So I mean, as long as we stay healthy, I think we got a chance. We don't have a lot of injury prone players. So
Hopefully it stays that way.
yeah. But history's on our side though. So but like everybody else,
History though.
like it's looking like, somebody's gonna get hurt.
But if they don't get hurt, then what?
If they don't get hurt, then I think we'll win this round, but I think in the next round we play what are we?
Y'all gonna play Phoenix
We
probably.
play Phoenix. We'll beat Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Devin Booker out. We'll beat Phoenix. So we'll be in the conference finals, and then, like I said, by then, Clay be hurt, Draymond be suspended a game or two, and I said we'll be on our way. Do I think we'll win the title? It just depends on who we get. But if we get there, I feel good about our chances, though.
I don't see Utah making it to the finals, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, you could be. LeBron ain't gonna be there. I bet you that. I bet you that.
LeBron ain't gonna be there. It's like LeBron ain't gonna be there.
LeBron ain't gonna be there.
LeBron is the Eminem of basketball.
Headlines.
But yeah, so
Wanna talk about racism, man?
Oh shit!
Let's talk about racism. We just go right
Get
to
right
this
into
shit. Right to this shit, man. Oh man, people in Raleigh are so funny, man. You try to have a decent life, try to have a decent day, but this BS just comes walking past your door. Just you try to be peaceful, try to get some new things in your life, try to enjoy your new items, whether personal to you or material, however you want to call it, whatever. But people just want to come around and disrespect it just because they don't got it or whatever's going on with them. We don't all the way know, but I have my suspicions. Maybe homie might have lost a woman to somebody that looked like a certain complexion, or maybe lost his job. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of self-hate. He wasn't able to turn on, had the ability to somebody else. Who knows, man?
So this is a real life event?
It was a real life event, man. So
you telling him about the yesterday? Not yesterday. Was it
yeah,
yesterday?
man. Yeah, man. So we out hooping, after some ones, we going back by to get some drinks, some beverages, and then all of a sudden we leaving. A rock gets thrown to our direction. We're in a parking lot. Cars being charged, and all of a sudden pulls up to the window, say, "Hey, is that your car? Is that your car? Is that your car?" Then walks towards it and responds, "Yes." Walks towards the car ferociously, mind you, and then it's like, "Yo." Gets out the car. So he gets out the car. Say, sir, really loud. Apparently scared him off. Boom, pivoted to another direction, and then went talked to the security guard that just said what's up to us. It was all good. We was cool. We won't cause no problems, right? And so went the security guard like, hey, they're causing some issues. They're circling around the area. They're causing trouble. We just chilling, chatting it up.
Man,
Did that deserve a rock? No, but stuff happens in life. So moral of the story is,
Who threw a rock?
apparently some so-called buff white dude wanted to walk past, throw a rock for no reason. The dude said he never even see the dude around ever. I don't know if he worked there or not, or disassociated, or just was mad at something and want to go on a walk and throw a rock at something. Now, out of all the things you do, you throw a rock. Out of all the things you do.
How old are you?
bro was, yeah, exactly. It was the stupidest shit, and once he threw the rock, I didn't know if you saw it yet, so I was like, bro, slow down. This nigga just threw some shit at your car. He grabbed another rock. I was about to say, just pull off. but like my car was getting charged, so we couldn't just pull off. I was like, bro, let me just hop back in my car and we just worry about this bitch. So the nigga came up to the car and was like, whose car is that? I'm like, bro, what business is it of yours? What car it was? Like, what do you own this parking garage? Do you own that machine?
Do you think you couldn't afford it?
Didn't deserve it.
No, that's ridiculous. Hey, next time y'all see him, whoever knows him, tell that freak show to join the circus. That nigga's I can't keep on saying that nigga is dumb. Yeah, man. And knocked on the door to get the officer we were just talking to before this whole debacle happened.
What did the officer do?
The officer came to us like, look, man, I don't know who that is. There's cameras. Do y'all want to do anything else about this? He's like, I saw y'all was just charging your car. And he looked at me to confirm, you just charging your car, right? I was like, yeah. The tender's hooked up to my port right there.
I would have took it to another extent, because people of I can't say color, but people of that race, they tend to take things to next level. I probably would have.
It took everything in me not to just be like, yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Let's whatever you can do. What can you do to that? Like, you can say it's a hate crime or something like that.
Oh, you can loop that in there. You can say that harassment.
But I think it was you said it was a public park though. They probably just get him to leave. They probably wouldn't even take it that far, because it didn't turn physical. It's more so like did he even make an accusation, or did he just? He didn't make an accusation.
Yeah, so he was making up stuff. He was just saying shit. Like, so when he knocked on the door and the cop came out, before the cop could, like, because he saw me coming towards I'm standing in my car looking at him, looking at the cop, and then he was like, before I could even say anything, he was like, oh, they've been circling the block all day causing trouble. I'm like, bro. And the cop saw us before this whole thing happened. So he caught him in the lie. Nigga walked off before he could any further question. Just walked off. I actually think it was a security guard. It was a security guard, so he didn't have like a gun or anything like that. He might have had a taser or pepper spray.
What was the other guy wearing?
The white guy.
Yeah.
So the white guy was like
cargo shorts.
These niggas in cargo shorts on the road.
Some gray shirts, probably some Asics on, some gray Asics on his feet, from what I can remember. Bald head, probably skinhead ass nigga.
Oh, that's what that was.
A little Aki, as the New Yorkers would say. Probably about 5, 7, 8, roughly, maybe 6 at the lowest.
Buff dude.
I'll say a little stocky.
Stocky.
A little stocky. I don't know if his legs are all that strong, but a little stocky.
It didn't matter. That nigga was weird. Look, the moral of the story is, if you got anything wrong with you, or anything happened to you towards the day where you feel like you have to do some bullshit like that, just call trouble for no reason, go the fuck home. Go to like the real park. Go to therapy. Like, why are you out here making it difficult for niggas for no reason? Like, you don't have nothing better to do?
It's a sad world we live in when it comes to racism, anyway. Can you forgive somebody for being racist, though?
Forgive, never forget anything.
You can forgive? I don't know if you can. I guess you're supposed to.
I never forget it, though. Can never forget it. But I'll say this, I'm not going to put any energy and emotion into it, because it's just what it is. Because that's just how it is.
I got another question for you.
All right.
I know a lot of people have been optimistic over like the last 3 to 4 years with the whole Black Lives Matter and all that.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic. I don't hate it, but
yeah, some agendas involved. Let's keep it a buck.
So answer this though. Do you ever think, 2 questions, racism will go away?
No.
And do you ever think black people will be equal with white people?
Nothing in this world is equal except a math problem.
Good answer. Because when you hear like celebrities who are real hardcore on that Black Lives Matter.
BS. They're paid for and bought like the rest of them. Go ahead.
Like they get on it and like they really preach like if we keep pushing this agenda, everything's gonna turn in our favor. And it's just like
Lying,
you don't really
bought,
believe
and paid
that, do
for.
you? You don't really believe that, do you?
No, because they're lying, bought, and paid for.
Yeah.
All of them.
And then they always say some other shit that I don't agree with. They be like, because me personally, I think the only way we're gonna begin to get even, or get close to getting even, it's not to march, it's not to protest.
It never works in history.
It's to start killing. Like, I believe violence is the answer. I think it
All
is
right.
the equalizer.
He has a point. He's right on that.
You know what I think? I think that if we're wanting to get equal, the only way to do it is to go at a faster rate than your opponent.
Nah, it's not being fast, being smarter.
But all we got to do is start our own shit, have our own.
You know the problem is? That's the problem.
And we
That's the problem.
look that's the problem. But you know what to do.
And also people think everybody needs to be involved to change something. It's not true. Just a small group of people. That's it. The right small group of people. Not all the people who need to get cut out of the equation because they're destroying everything, or the bad apples that are the real coons of the people that are trying to do something. You need to separate, not congregate. The bigger the crowd, the dumber the crowd. The more people you got, the dumber the group is. If you have a bunch of people who are not on the same page and don't want the same things, nothing's going to get done. And they want the same thing but have different ways of going about it, nothing's going to ever get done. You got one group that believes how they used to do it back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s was a way, and then they act like crack never happened, or they were in the crack era. They might have been causing the crack era to be the issue.
I don't know how anybody from that far back think anything is the answer to any issues. 'Cause shit got worse. So
Exactly.
I don't
the
know how
point.
they would try to use those same ideas today.
Exactly
Like
the point.
marching, it doesn't work.
Has it?
I mean, you bring awareness to it, congratulations, but does it change things?
No.
Maybe momentarily, but long term, no.
Yeah.
You really want to
he's right,
change
though.
something? Hey, fathers, stop having kids too early with the wrong woman. Not saying that accidents don't happen. I get it. Be there for your sons and daughters. Be there. Don't have a baby with the wrong chick. That's a major issue. Hey, you ain't got to be in a gang. I understand situation. I understand there's certain things that's just not going to prevent you from being in that situation because of the lack of guidance. I get it. But if you can't prevent it, don't even worry about it. It ain't, as you can see through history, it ain't cute. It ain't cool. Dead or in jail, that's the only outcome. Ain't nothing else. If you get out, you probably snitching. And then you looking over your shoulder for the rest of your life. Or getting the legal hustle on, if it's possible for you. And even then, your sins gonna always catch up with you because of what you did, no matter how much you try to correct it. I applaud people who trying to reform, but at the end of the day, you were a part of the destruction. It's called spade a spade.
Fortunately, he's right about that.
I just don't agree with protesting. I never.
Because it's all a fad. Because people love to protest, but they don't want to change nothing. You change by your actions, not being with a group of people saying you want this, and that. Because the laws ain't going to change by your account. They do what they want to do at that level. You can do better by playing your role properly. It's that simple. Is it easy? No. We got all these other stimuli, all these other people talking about, hey, you should be this, you should do that. Oh, it's okay to be this, even though it's really not. But whatever. It's okay to have kids and just nutting all these chicks. That's cool. No, it's not. Unless you can afford it and you be in there, all right, cool. But if you're just gonna do it and just skate out like you never even knew who that was, that's foul. And don't complain. You can't complain about child support when you know that wasn't gonna work. You try to do it so she could stay. If she trapped you, all right, you should have looked out. You knew the signs before you went up in that. You knew. And if you didn't, our fault. You just gotta take that L and lump with it. It takes a long time to get to know somebody. Take that time and know who you're dealing with. Because if you don't, you're gonna end up like somebody else that's been going through that bad situation. And I know you don't want that. It's our, as men, to have the seed to carry over to the next generation the right way. If we don't, it's going to end up like we're looking at right now.
It's a generation full of hell raisers. The hell raisers.
The babies are the crack babies. It's the babies of the crack babies.
Little hell raisers.
The progressively, like, so yeah, you know, from time there were days where if you wanted to change something, you just slice someone's head off. It's progressively getting softer. It's gonna get to the point where it's so soft, nothing's going to get done. We're literally gonna be like silly putty. We're gonna be like.
Why is it getting softer though?
It's getting softer because we're starting to address like how someone feels about everything.
It's getting softer because of the spotlight that's being put on it. Like,
right.
I feel like when you're bringing awareness to it.
Is it being softer because men can't be men anymore?
We're getting softer because we're getting smarter.
Are we talking about racism, or are we talking about what you're saying?
I'm talking about the reason why this all happened in the first place, right?
Racism and that is like kind of.
Well, let's
different things.
Let's take racism out of it because we gonna deal. That is what it's gonna be. Whatever. Let's talk about kind of what you alluded to when you brought up after that point is people trying to come together and all the equality stuff, right? And trying to be social justice people, the whatnot. I understand it, but it ain't gonna do nothing. You can talk as loud or as much as you want, wave your flags, get your bullhorns. It ain't gonna change nothing unless you change yourself.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I'm saying. Like, there's no need to go and march for 2.5 hours. Preaching one thing.
You can't march when your kids at home crying and needing some food.
Yeah, like it's
you can't march when you're on welfare.
Yeah, like
don't march when you can't afford to feed your family. Then you need to be at home trying to figure something out. Don't march when you got past due bills and you need to pay your rent. What you marching for? You better march to a bank or something. March to a new job.
Say, man, march to a bank.
All right, come on, yo. What are we really trying to accomplish here with this marching, this protesting?
It's the idea that they didn't go the way I wanted to.
Yelling at white people for no reason, act like things aren't going to get done. Yelling at the other races or the powers that be or the people in power, want things to get done when they not going to do what you do because you're not in power. That don't make no sense.
I don't see anything wrong with protesting, but I think it's just like the way.
You know why?
It's just always been the same way ever since we was kids.
I don't think it's anything wrong with protesting.
It's just not radical enough to actually work.
I think it's after the protest. What you do after you leave the protest matters more than what you do while you're protesting. I have no issue with someone going Black Lives Matter, but when you leave that protest, what are you doing to show that Black Lives Matter?
Right. Yeah.
Are you still going back home and preaching violence and saying that, if somebody do this, regular street stuff,
Right.
Because that's kind of like, was it counterproductive if you're going to say that? Like, you're going against the very thing you just marched against, like protect our black men, and then it's just like
when that march happened, just asking,
well, when
it
the cops were when the cops were killing them, that was the thing, protect our black men, our black.
Who was in the march? Who was there? Who was really there? Who they putting on TV the most?
I don't know.
Exactly the point.
I don't really.
It looked mixed and pale.
Oh, yeah.
When you see who was really on TV, and it usually wasn't a straight man on there. Just gonna keep it at that.
That's crazy. But going back to
don't act like y'all ain't see it. Talking about depression and mental health all day, pimping that like it's the new struggle and crack on the corner.
Right. So what the people who were actually fit those like categories,
They never get the
they
help
get
they need.
overshadowed, bro.
Exactly the
Because
point.
motherfuckers acting like they're like that because it's like, oh,
Just to
shit not
get
going right.
freaking attention, bro.
It's easy to,
Hey, get up your phone and go outside for a little bit more each day. You'll be alright.
you feel me, bro?
Get some. Hey, look, I understand your family don't love you enough. I hope you can get love somewhere else for real, and that's sincere from the heart. I know it's hard for some of y'all out there. I ain't even trying to be funny right now. I know,
feel like the whole world, like everybody, maybe to different degrees, different extents, or whatever. I feel like everybody's. The world's just in a great state of like depression. I just feel like everything is like everybody now. I don't know what it's like for y'all when you try to meet someone, date them, get to talk to them. Everybody's like depressed now. Everybody feels like they've reached the end, or they want to give up. Like very rarely do you meet somebody now and it's just like things are looking up, like my career is taking off and this is going on, and I just got this. Everything now is just like, well, I just got used, just got abused, this is going like this, and it's just like you have to be like Superman or Superwoman, and to kind of fix that person. It just feel like everybody you meet in the world today, whether it's relationship, friendship, co-workers, everybody is like, I mean, it's obvious everybody's going through something. Everybody,
I think it's always been that way, but you know what it is now?
social media,
It's
internet.
okay to express. It's okay to let other people know that,
which it is,
without getting shitted on anymore. Which
Yeah.
you still get shitted on a little bit, but like there's
as a
people
man,
on your side
as
now.
a man, you get shit.
You can't do that as a man,
man.
no matter what day we in.
As a man, you get shit.
Because you know why? Men are held to a higher standard.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be tired.
You can't be sad. You
Yeah,
can't,
no.
you
If a
can't be
man is
sad.
tired, one thing I learned: if a man is tired, he's lazy. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to sit down. You're not allowed to take a break. If you're not working, you're lazy. You're not allowed to have a hobby, because if you have a hobby, then
You're wasting time.
you're wasting time.
You're wasting money.
Yeah, that's
You know,
exactly.
I'm not mad at that, bro.
That's actually what's taught. Like, you're not allowed to have a good time. Your life is not about a good time. It is about
Providing,
protecting.
protecting.
Which
At the same time, would you ever want it to be reversed? Would you ever want to be the opposite?
Oh fuck no.
You feel me? Like we rule the world. Like,
But I need
we
people
are
to
in
stop.
charge.
I need people to stop acting like that ain't what it is. Cause you look on TV, they try to act like men don't exist sometimes.
Men have been and are running the world. So it just so happens it is that way. So it's not like, yeah, they're putting a lot on us, but at the end of the day, we run shit at the end of the
No,
day.
I'm not complaining about that. I'm just
We
saying. I'm
definitely
just saying.
run
But people like to act like that ain't what it is. You can arguably say they've been overprotected for these last damn 5 to 10 years. Yo, all these dudes be caping for them and shit. I have no beef, but just still, we just gonna keep it a buck. All these dudes be caping, overhyping what they do, and they fucking up. The fuck going on?
I just feel like in today's world, if a woman has a nice body, she made it in life. Because all she have to do is show it. And then you have OnlyFans, Instagram models. You have a nice body, you made it in life. You're going to be somewhere. You're going to go places because somebody's going to pay for that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but don't be mad if I call you a hoe.
Okay.
They're rolling with what they can, like just like we would, bro.
Yeah.
We all the same at the end of the day. It's just we're as men, we have led for a very long time, and it's gonna continue being that way till the end till our sexes merge, and there's only like one sex. We're probably gonna be in charge, huh?
One what?
One sex, like saying a very motherfucking long time, Dre. For people who don't believe in evolution.
No, that's what they're trying to do. Make it one gender. Mm-hmm. That's not gonna work. That's when the end's gonna happen. I agree with you right there. Yeah, when they try to, when it somehow comes to be, when they actually get it to one gender or get very close, that's what's gonna all fall to pieces. I agree with you there.
Definitely.
So we just gotta watch these people just fall. We can't help. Hey, we can't help but say nobody. You just watch them fall by the wayside. Can't help your quote unquote brothers and sisters. Now you gotta watch them fall at the wayside. Some people got to go in order to succeed. And that's just what it is. You don't like it, go somewhere else. You gonna fall right with them. I ain't your brother.
Motherfucker. Like,
I ain't your brother. You definitely not my sister. I got family. That's it. That's it. Family and friends. That's all I got. And that's strong. And there's only few. The very few friends and the family I do see. And just because they're blood, they don't mean they family.
that's deep. But shit. Ideally, you want to have a situation where it's not all the way like that. Cause that's pretty damn bad. You feel me? But at the end of the day, you do have you can't. Not everyone is your brother. Whether they act, you know what I'm saying. So if ties change, if it's conditional, then you're not brother. But it is a lot of that. But
Yeah,
if we do come, quote unquote, come together,
It ain't gonna happen.
just as a community,
Who?
you don't have to be.
What community? Where's the community at? If you don't know your history, you can't have a community.
Yes, you can.
If you don't have values and morals and culture, you can't have a community. People like to use buzzwords just to make stuff sound cool, and that's not how it is.
Value and morals. We can stick there. If we just close in on that right there and just isolate in on
A lot
that.
of people don't have value and morals nowadays, yo. Only a select few people have those. You got a bunch of people in the world who just there just to take up space.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
what are morals really, other than really like opinions, though? My morals may not be your morals. So morals is, to me, just a fancy word for opinions.
That's one way you look at it.
There are fancy opinions, but you can physically see when you're not doing a service to somebody.
You can't, like, I'm not disagreeing, but I just thought of some, like, we always say that person has no morals because they do this. But sometimes people have morals, but situation dictates that. So they do that.
You are what you repeatedly do. So I guess you can fuck up once, but if you put a grenade in someone's house, like, there's questioning there. You know there's a line there and suffering you cause for no. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know when you're not doing the service to somebody.
See, even though that's crazy, but like, how do you know them putting that grenade in there won't cause them to feel better? I took a life today. Like, it could be like, it's sick to think about.
That's immoral. Yeah.
That's so if they think that way, that's like a glitch. that human is incapable of being like, he's doing what he has to do, I guess, but it's clearly not moral. It's not good to do that. We just all know that.
Yeah.
No matter what, most of us do, unless you have that glitch. We just know right from quote unquote right and wrong.
Yeah, but I still look at it like, at the end of the day, morals are just like fancy opinions. It's just like,
You're right. They change a lot. It's not a fact. It's an opinion. It changed too much for it, and it's too conditional to be a fact.
because it may be morally wrong for me to, it's morally wrong for a lot of people to have sex on the first date, but some people feel like,
Okay.
what's wrong with that? I'm single, you single. I'm
Okay.
attracted to you, you're attracted to me. We grown.
Humans were put on this earth to have sex.
Yeah, like,
That's how I feel.
yeah.
So
So
you don't reproduce. What's the point? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
but go ahead.
how can you look at someone and say, like, that's morally wrong? That's what you think. They may not think like that, so you can't say they're wrong. And you have some people be like, well, how do you even know that that's the person for you? Who cares? It was in the moment.
Right. So that right there, those encounters, that's like a section of kind of like an agreement. If you have an agreement and you break that agreement with yourself,
Because
you're not doing yourself a favor. You know what I'm saying?
Because you wouldn't doesn't mean that I shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically what it comes down to when you're looking at morals. Because you wouldn't.
But that's
doesn't
a
mean I should.
very like gray area though. Like there's times where there's gray areas like that where you feel like, oh, if I do this, then it's not moral to do. It's weird.
Your morals are based off of like things you believe. If we don't believe the same thing, I'm not held to your standards. Right? If you believe a certain religion and they tell you should do things this way, but I don't believe in your religion, you're kind of like locked in. You have to follow that. But if I don't believe it, I'm more free to do what I want. And that's the same thing with morals, religions, all of that. It puts a cap, it puts a boundary basically. Morals, opinions, it's like mental boundaries where you can't go above it without feeling, you feel obligated to stay below, between that boundary that you believe. But if I don't believe what you believe, I can do more. I don't have to stop where you stop. Yours may say you can't count past 7, or you shouldn't eat. Religions, you can't eat after 7 o'clock.
Right.
My religion might say when I leave here tonight, it might be 10, 11, 12. I might stop and get me something to eat, but you have to go to bed. You have to eat. You can't eat. But what I believe, it says when my stomach begins to growl, I can eat. But you may look at me and be like, look at that. That's so wrong. Who would eat this late at night? But you're hungry. You want to do it, but because of what you believe, it won't allow you to do it. Right? So like morals.
Yeah, so there is definitely that.
It's just opinion. It's just fancy opinions.
Definition.
But at the end of the day,
a lesson, especially one concerning what is right or prudent, that can be derived from a story, a piece of information, or experience. 2, a person's standards of behavior or beliefs concerning what is and is not acceptable for them to do. Technically, tend to be driven by personal beliefs and values.
Yeah.
There are certain.
He's right.
There are some common morals that people agree on, and there's some such
common
as,
morals is
such
what
as
more
always
I
tell
talk
the
about.
truth. An example, common moral.
How can you have common morals with someone that come from a different background?
You can. Truth and lie is the same no matter where you go. Pain and pleasure are the same wherever you go.
Not really.
No,
Like-
not the pain and pleasure one.
Is the sky blue?
Yeah, pretty much.
It depends on who's looking at it.
All right. It may be light blue to you. My eyesight might be just a little off.
That's not a moral. No, who gives a fuck about that though?
No, I'm just saying though, because you see it one way doesn't mean I see it the same way, even though we're looking at the same thing.
If somebody cuts your arm off right now, you're going to scream, and I caused you pain. That's not the right thing to fucking do.
So you're saying that that's wrong?
Yes.
What's the reason? What's the reason
Can't
you done?
cut people's arms
What is the
off.
reason why you done it though? Because that determines how someone could feel about it.
No. If you cut someone, if someone does
Will
something to you,
Smith-
then you cut their arm off.
Will Smith smacked
You
Chris
still,
Rock.
y'all are both wrong. Y'all
Will
are both wrong.
Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. Who was right and who was wrong?
both of them
How?
said things that was.
How? Who
Don't
was
get
wrong?
your wife's name. Look, man, I don't know with that. I don't know.
Exactly.
But
that looks more. He smacked that man.
you
on
slap
national
you
TV.
slap somebody, you cause them pain.
Are you married?
You're wrong.
Are you married?
Chris Rock caused that lady that if she did cause her pain, he was wrong for that.
Exactly. So it depends on where you're looking at it from. If I cut your arm off, more times than not, people will say that's wrong. But if somebody found out that you was in my house, laying with my woman, they might be like, "Hey, well, he kind of got what he deserved." It depends on
But
what
you're
angle.
still wrong for
You're not
that.
wrong. You're not wrong. For how?
He's not wrong.
That's
It was
just
just an ill-advised
Alright,
way
so-
to handle the situation.
So
Alright,
how
so-
is that? So that's
Alright,
exactly
what's the
what wrong is.
difference? It's just like
He didn't have to.
That's
do
the
that
wrong
to
way
I'm
to
trying to
handle
think.
it.
It's not wrong. He just didn't
What's the-
have to do
what's
that
the
to handle the
difference between-
situation.
Cut the nigga off.
Like, listen to
Eye
this.
for an
arm
eye,
was in your girl.
eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
Answer this.
That's how it used to
Y'all are
go.
Both wrong. Nigga.
All right. What's the difference between first degree murder, second degree murder, and manslaughter? They all kill somebody, but what makes each one different?
I don't fucking know.
Exactly. First degree, I think it's like premeditated or something like that. And then what's the other one? Is it self-defense or something like that?
There's times where you're wrong, but nobody can blame you. Where it's like, yeah, like it's damn, but hey, nigga had it coming.
Hey,
he's still wrong.
I look at
though.
it like no matter what situation, no matter what it is, I mean, you can think it's morally wrong, but you got to think about, you have sick people in this world. You have people who think killing people and eating them is just like the thing to do. Well, we believe that's
The
wrong.
thing to do.
It's plenty of food out here to eat, but they believe, you know, no. Do you eat dog?
Nah.
Why not?
Because I just don't think it would be appetizing.
It's plenty of coaches that eat dogs. That's what I'm saying. It depends on, you can't say just because like you wouldn't, I shouldn't. It's different way no matter how you look at it.
See, that right there might be your best point, because you obviously cause animal pain if you're cooking it at the point where you're cooking them, eating them.
Yeah, like it doesn't like
Unless he died of natural
look
causes,
at
and then you just pick the nigga up and
every
got him
situ-
situated.
every situation you look at, depending on
And
who
with some
you
barbecue
are,
sauce on the nigga, like.
every situation you look at, depending on who you are, it could be right or wrong. I don't.
But
think
that's the only area. All the other ones is like pretty plain and simple. Like,
because I think like no matter what, you can always like. Was Hitler wrong for what he did to like Jews? To
we
us,
know,
yes.
obviously, bruh.
But he had people that was doing it for him, so obviously he had someone to believe he was right. So it's like somebody else believed the same thing, right? So
let's go to comic book Wayne.
You tricked the nigga into doing something
And
wrong.
Avengers Endgame.
I
What was
said-
Thanos' goal? Destroy the planet to what?
I don't know.
Right, he wanted
To
to-
keep the balance.
Right, yeah.
But the heroes thought you don't have to kill everybody to keep the balance. But in his mind, he did. And he had people with him that believed that. And in reality, if you think about it, technically, if you want to flip it, you could say, some people might say Thanos was actually the good guy in that movie and the heroes were the bad guys. Because they were trying to keep chaos. And he was trying to actually create peace by creating balance and order.
But he did it by killing people, and that's wrong.
Yeah, it might not have been.
But check this out, though. Thanos doesn't exist.
But still, that's
There's
still
never going to be a scenario like this.
You never know, but still, it explains the situation perfectly. One party thinks this is the way to do it. The other one says no.
it's
You're
always
wrong.
gonna be that way. So like morally, opinions.
But once you step back, once me and you are talking about it, it's clearly, you can clearly see
because
what's
of how
wrong.
because of how we were raised.
Exactly.
You're trained to think a certain way. You've been
Programmed.
to think a certain way. That's why he went Hitler, Thanos, whoever. He programmed them to think that way, and that's why they thought that was the correct thing to do. That's why they were on his side. So it depends on how you think. Like it doesn't matter. Like I just feel like
I think right and wrong is given to people with high levels of intelligence. Because if a dog felt right and wrong, they would not.
We
their
don't know if
species
they
would
do or
not
don't.
survive.
We don't know if they do or don't.
If they felt bad about killing and eating those rabbits, they wouldn't be. They wouldn't have been. They just wouldn't survive. And all of them would have died.
I mean, they may feel bad about it, but would you rather feel bad about it?
The ones
and
that
be
feel
full,
bad about it,
feel bad about it and be full, or feel bad about it and crawl in a hole and die? Which problem do you rather have?
I mean, hey, yeah, there's that, but
You can say that as humans, like we kill shit all the time.
morals are a topic that intelligent people have to like dogs, animals aren't capable of.
We don't
that
know
type
that. We don't know. We don't know how they think. We don't know.
It's survival.
I guess.
Like there's just survival. So it's just like I have to do what I have to do. We may look at it like he did not have to, fuck with that rabbit and that dog food sitting over there, but he's programmed to survive. That's why when they go out and they tigers and all that, they have to tame them. They have to reprogram them to where you don't have to attack if someone is approaching you. You don't have to be defensive. They tame them. They teach them, right?
Okay, but all right. So there's a reason we would rather have society act in a certain way, and
Control.
but
The more people you can get doing one thing, the easier it is to control. The easiest way to control is to
but
instill
what's
fear.
the reason people to go out here and start chopping people's arms off. What's the reason you don't want that?
Why you don't want it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been programmed to think that arms should be chopped off. I wouldn't want my arm chopped off, but then again, I don't know. Like, I don't want to. I guess I can't see it. I don't want to get.
At some point, that was not cool. Someone decided at some point that was not cool.
It's not normal. Of course not. But if someone can program you to do that, then how can you tell?
There was a point. That's what I'm saying. There's a point where right and wrong began. Someone decided at some point in each of these cultures that this is not something that we should probably be doing. A very opinionated person was like, look, all these niggas with arms chopped off, we're not that productive. I don't think we should keep on doing this.
I mean, I guess.
And then handshakes came out. Then they were really fucked up.
I don't know. I just feel like no matter what the situation is, you can always see it from both sides. I've always
for sure
been like that. And I guess you're not wrong. Because again, it's opinions we're talking about. But I just feel like no matter what situation or what's going on, it can always be looked at from more than just one angle.
Definitely.
Because you don't know what that person's going through to make them think like that, or what they've been through to get to that place.
Yeah.
You don't know what made them act or want to love that person. Unfortunately, when you dig back, if you ask the right questions, are they able to open up to you? There's trauma there. It's trauma. And then people weaponize their unfortunate circumstance to make them do or think or act a certain way. And now they turn out to be this kind of person. And they think a way that may seem immoral or amoral to certain people. All because of the trauma that happened when they were younger. Or when they got to a certain point and something happened. A relationship or whatever that may have been. So it always comes from a place of unfortunateness where you see people that do certain things that are seen to be immoral, amoral. It sucks, but that's just how it is. We just gotta do our best so we don't have our offspring to become like that. Hopefully.
Right.
Because we can only do but so much. Think about it. Our kids are only going to be around us depending on how much involved we are going to be with them a certain amount of time a day, because they're always going to be at school unless they're homeschooled. Just think about how many times you actually saw your parents when you weren't in school, depending on what y'all did. Everybody's family is different, so this could differ with everyone. Some people go on trips, some people didn't.
And that's why it goes back to more people you believe you can get to think a certain way, because everybody's going through a common, school system. They have common
Programming.
Programming. That's what it is. For 12 years, you have to go
13 if you go to preschool.
Yeah, okay, 13 years of the first 18 years of your life.
14 if you go to preschool and kindergarten.
Yeah.
So 13 if you go to
and then
kindergarten.
if you go to daycare, it's your entire life. From the time you're able to process things, someone is telling you what to do, what is right, what is wrong.
You, yep.
Yeah, so that's what I mean by, like, it really just depends on how you were raised, how you were programmed, where did you come from. But believe you me, it's some kids somewhere being taught that, like, you wouldn't teach your kids to bite somebody, but it's some kids being taught right now that, like, hell yeah, bite them. Like, that's what we do. We bite. So that's why I say you can always.
But the dude that's programming you definitely can be, quote unquote, right and wrong. Cause look. Think about this. Think about like a Mad Max situation. The instant you go outside, it's over. Like no one's gonna give a fuck whether like a car runs you over and like your spleen is all over the ground. Someone at some point figured out, was like, hey, this might not work out. We might not. This might not be cool. It's like, and then the situation where it's like technology comes out, and instead of making an iPhone, you make like a laser sword to kill, like, you know what I'm saying? We just there, you would just know instinctively, like, this might not hold up well if each and every one of kill everybody.
Another thing.
Some people don't get there though.
Yeah, and another thing I keep noticing when you say it, you're basing a lot of it off like emotion. You're saying this doesn't feel right, and I just don't think everybody think with the same emotion.
But check this out. If you keep think about what would happen if you had the ability to just murk a nigga for no reason, and you're at a job, someone does something wrong, you murk them. Now you have to hire a new person. If they do something wrong, you murk them. Then you just run out of niggas.
You ever heard of the cartel?
They're gonna end up getting killed eventually.
Yeah,
They're gonna wipe their own. They're gonna wipe our own population out.
You can always find another
And that's not only is that
You gotta realize.
stupid.
You ever heard of cartel?
Yeah.
That's like their type shit. They don't care. They know death is gonna be the end game anyway. But while they are here, while they're running it, hey, you mess up, that's you. You can't allow something, especially in that type of
You can't, but at the same time, is the cartel is not doing something we all should be doing.
how you know?
First of all, they've been doing it for a long time. So they might have perfected it
They
to the point where
was a beginner at one point in time though. You see what I'm saying? No matter what you look at, you can look at everything a different way. So like, you might not want to be a part of the cartel, but if I go out there and I move a few kilos, I come back, and I'm racked up. Hey, I might try to recruit you and Drake. Like, hey man, y'all worried about and shit. They got this over here.
Well, you know what? You're probably right about this. Right and wrong, there might not be I think you might be right. Like, morals is something that was created. It wasn't there since the dawn of time. So I guess
it was there. It was there without a name on it. It was there without a name on it.
What is the beginning of time to you? For me, growing up, how I was programmed and I was taught, beginning of time was Adam and Eve, right? And they were told right from wrong. You can eat this, but don't eat that.
That's all you need to know. And what did she do?
And she went exactly.
That's all you need to know about women.
She
right
thought
there.
like, you know what?
And it caused okay, and that caused other people to suffer.
Exactly. That's all you need to know about women.
So you just want to eliminate we want to just reduce the amount of suffering, and I think that's a great way to live. To reduce the amount of suffering from you feel me?
From what?
I guess from
Your own life.
Actions that I do to you. Like, if I'm suffering and I chose that, I'm cool with that. But if I suffer and now and I did something wrong and I'm suffering, all of a sudden y'all got to be involved with it. That's not the way I want to live.
Yeah.
Like, if I decide I'm gonna do this,
but at the end of the day, though, you control all of those actions. So you are the dawn of your growth and suffering. At the end of the day, it's always on you. Nobody else but you. So don't blame no religion, no other people, no other doctrines. It's all on you at the end of the day. Plain and simple.
And another thing, morals are great because of that, we have the iPhone 13 instead of the throat ripper 5000.
Who said that hasn't been invented?
Actually, might be a throat ripper.
What are we talking about here? You seen Saw? It's like,
but I'm just saying, morals. They are playing a good part. I think they are playing a crucial part into our advancement.
You sure? What you talking about, the good or the bad side?
Well, there is the war, obviously, and they're creating shit.
It's never gonna stop. That's not what I'm talking about, though.
What are you talking about?
Just in general, do you honestly think that the good side of the morals are the reason we are where we are right now? No. It's gonna balance out regardless, though. But
I don't understand what you're trying to say, though.
If you're looking at the landscape of society right now,
gotcha,
and you're saying, "Oh, it's all on our morals." Mm-hmm. Is it the good or the bad side? It's still balanced out at the end of the day, but
because some people might not even think it's that bad.
Yeah.
Well, there's not kids not kids at schools with knives stabbing each other. And Dre's gonna say there's probably a place in the world where that's happening. I know.
No, they're shooting. They're not stabbing. They're shooting. They're not stabbing. They're shooting.
Just saying,
it's been
like,
documented. They're shooting.
Like things, certain
We
things
had the drills.
are just better than others, other ways of acting. And I guess you put the moral stamp on it, but it's really just the smarter way. Most of the times it's a smarter way.
If you can be smarter. People don't have the opportunity. Some people just don't have the opportunity to be smart. And to be able to get smart. Because the situation and environment they were brought up in was not a smart one. They wasn't created out of a smart situation. So now they got to suffer because of their other people's sins. It sucks, but that's how it is. It's sad, but that's how it is. It's difficult, but that's just how it is.
That's just the way it is.
And the only person that can change that at the end of the day is you. No other laws, no governments, no TV show, no movies, no game, no music is going to change that but you. You got to do what you can to find your peace in your life, however long that may take, or get cured for your trauma. Seek therapy if you have to. Some people you have to do it. That's the only way you're going to get cured of your trauma, or at least find a way to cope with it. Reason people get obese and gain weight, and some people may have covered up with tattoos, is because of trauma. And they don't know how to cope well, so they end up covering up scars with other scars.
Drug
tattoos, drugs, getting addicted to drugs, crack. People still on crack. I didn't know that. That's crazy. I thought crack went away. I'm dead serious. Weed.
Crack is coming back, actually.
Weed. People don't want to talk. People don't want to talk about the weed thing, but smoke weed all day, that's kind of a problem, in my opinion. But you have to smoke that every day to be level. It's I don't know. I'm not, look, whatever you're going to do is what you're going through. All right. But saying, if you can, figure out why that is, or if you care. Because some people just don't care, and that's fine too. I know I can't help you. I'm just saying. I'm just a guy talking on the show that may or may not have a lot of views from your opinion. But hey, somebody needs to hear this, so I hope whoever is hearing this, it gets to you. And I hope we've done a service to help you. So
Yeah, so morals are just fancy opinions. Have sex on the first date. Go at it.
don't force it, but if it's consensual, go ahead.
Exactly. I'm actually going to choose to agree with him with that. Not because of the sex thing, but I'm not thought it over. I think he got a point there.
Hey, man. Some women don't have value after the first date, but we'll leave that for another day.
But you want the concept of morals to exist.
I
You
mean,
want them to at least exist.
yeah, they exist. It's just people have their own rights and wrongs they go by.
You want the concept.
Hey, man.
So that I'm able to teach my kids that the concept that I want them to follow
Yeah.
of wrong and right.
Yeah, that and the Most High, whatever you believe in, whatever.
I want my kids to think stabbing and selling crack is morally wrong.
You know,
I need them to think that.
I agree with you. I really hope you can get that through to them. Real talk.
I'm weak.
In that case,
You know what's funny? Some people teach their children not to be violent by whooping them.
you know, there's a lot of people that got beatings and whoopings that are in jail right now. So, as a conversation we had the other day, what is that really helping your children? Is that teaching them right and wrong? Is that teaching them not to do certain things?
Don't ever hit your brother.
It's so many people, so many children getting whoopings and still out here doing wrong. I understand there's a time and a place for everything, but if that's the only way you show discipline to your children, then you need to figure out something else because it's clearly not working.
I don't think it's a problem whooping kids. I think it's a problem whooping kids and not explaining to them why you're whooping them. To just haul off and
All
just
right,
hit them.
fair point. Yeah, that's I guess that's what I was kind
To
of
just
saying.
haul off and just hit them, like, stop. But if you tell them, like, look, you know, this is what I need you to do. This is how you should do it. This is why you should do it. And you didn't do it. So now I have to do this. So next time you know that when I tell you to do XYZ, you know that you have to do it this way.
So
But
is it last resort, or are you just gonna
It's last
front it
resort.
with that? Okay.
No. It's last resort. I don't think the first time a child messes up, you should whoop them because they're a child. They don't know. They're learning. So for you to just whoop them, you're not teaching them anything because they don't know why they're being whooped. They're being a kid. They're getting into things, climbing on things, breaking stuff. But I think after a few warnings, you have to go to that extent because you have to teach them that, you know, in the world, really, you're one mistake away. We're all one mistake away from spending like possibly the rest of our lives in jail. Like every day.
That's true.
So you have to show them that, like, even though you're not locking them up, you have to show them that, like, this is serious. Like, it takes 1 second of your life to ruin the rest of your life. So that whooping, you know, I mean, it's just show them that, like, you mean business when you talk. Because in the world, like, as we see cops, especially black kids, they ain't trying to hear nothing you got to say. Like, they think you done it, you guilty. Like, you're guilty that day. Like, you're guilty. So
Yeah, you beat them up so the system won't
yeah.
have to.
So that's ideal, but you know, sometimes, you know,
It don't work. Yep.
but that's what I think. Whooping them without telling them why you're doing it is the problem. I don't think whooping them is necessarily bad.
Evil, I guess
Yeah.
not, but
All right.
it's just ironic.
I'll double back on that a little bit. I guess I should explain it a little bit more contextually. So I do agree with your point that explaining why this has to be done makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
For sure. Now, obviously, some people do need to get hands put on them. It is what it is. I get it.
sometimes you have to whoop first and then explain, depending on it. But if you don't explain, then don't be surprised when they do it again. And when they do it again, it doesn't mean you don't have to explain it again. They're children.
Right.
They don't understand the magnitude of what they're doing at the time while you're saying, do it this way. Like, don't touch the stove, it's hot. Don't touch the stove. Don't touch. They don't understand until they touch it, and then they burn themselves, and then it's just like, either you're going to let that be their lesson, or...
Yeah.
So, I mean, people have different opinions. I know me, growing up, I probably would have burned myself, and while I'm crying, I probably would have still got a whip. Some people believe that. They touch it, once they feel that heat, that's enough now. Go sit down. And then some people just think, you know, I mean, like, whatever, but, like, you're not wrong.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because like if like your son or whoever you're like in charge of, well, I guess who's your parent, and they're like they get a bad grade on a test and they're in that room crying, I don't need to go in there and whoop him. He's already having enough shit he's going through. I don't need to go in there and fuck him up after that. Like I think he got what he needed, but some kids might be in that room playing video games. Then you'll have to talk. I'm like, whoa.
This is why you have this grade. You're spending too much time on this. Not go in and whoop them like, didn't I tell you? Or you're failing. They don't know why. They're failing. And then sometimes they legit don't understand. They're kids. So it's last resort for me.
And you can do everything right as a parent, and that child still may end up in the prison system.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, because at the end of the day, you may start to program them one way, but through TV, music, friends, surroundings, they may reprogram it another way.
they
So
rebel.
they get away from what you taught. you taught them something else, so their values change. So that's how that can happen.
See it all the time with the church kids.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's another.
fun becomes the reason why they do it. Like, oh, there you can have fun.
Yeah.
It's just when you shelter somebody so much, and you say you're doing it for the right reasons.
They don't know their limitations once they get out. So
And
that's why they don't realize
takes
that.
one time.
Yeah.
Psh, boom. Why you think people used to say, yo, once you get to church girls, when you go to college, man, they the biggest hoes. So all they take is one, psh, they out of there. They out there spreading their legs for everybody.
Yeah, and then the time they actually do have sex and they realize they don't light on fire immediately and get taken to the bad places. Like, what?
They out of there.
Oh, I might could try this again.
Yeah. It's hard out here, man.
Bucket of water by the bed just in case it catch on fire.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's all on you, or woman, who are maybe hearing this. It's all on you. It's all on you for yourself, for your family, and whoever else you interact with in this life. Obviously, there are going to be situations you cannot control. Just deal with that accordingly, however you need to make sure you go back home. By saying that, this is the 2.5 LLCs podcast. My name is Dre. This is right here. This is Antwon over here. And this is episode 38, 2.5 LLCs podcast. We're out of here.